Hey everybody, a long-term review of my S1000 R. It's a 2015 model. I've had it for... Bye darling. I've had it for, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half now. I've done about 20,000 kilometers on it. I'm really happy with it actually. There are a couple of provisos which I'll get into very shortly, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. There are certain things that annoy me, which I'll get into, but it's been a joy. It's way better than I will ever be. It is taught me a lot actually about bikes, and one of the main reasons I bought this bike over others is for the safety. It's got ABS, it's got all the things that you guys have read about online. Getting a bit long in the tooth, but still absolutely cutting edge with regards to electronics absolutely cutting edge for the electronics on the price point. I meant to say, coolest thing about this bike, and I know stupidly my favorite, is actually the cruise control. It is just so good. It allows me to be fresh and ultimately, I guess, avoid any accidents or fatigue related accidents that I have experienced in the past, especially on long rides. And I've taken this to the snowies up in Australia. It's just done so well. Really enjoyed it. I love the traction control. It's great knowing that there's a bit of a safety net there, especially on I've ridden this through torrential rain, sleet up in the mountains, and it's great to know that once you chuck it on rain mode, it's just got your back. Really wonderful bike. Sounds great. I love the way that it sort of burbles on down throttle. I love the way it. I love the way it looks. Actually, even the front looks a bit mean. Let's move on to my or some things I guess that you'd not like, which is some of the things that annoys me. So the very expensive. I actually got it at a bit of a bargain, but it's been extraordinarily expensive to maintain and run. Not a fault of the bike. It's a premium bike. I also take it to probably some of the more expensive places in Sydney, but that's okay because I do a lot of kilometers on it. I've done about 20,000 kilometers in the last year and a half, on top of the 50,000 kilometers that the previous owner did. It's gone really well. It's had a couple of issues which I'll get into. The first issue is really probably the biggest one. The 2015 model came with a hydraulic cam chain tensioner. So what ended up happening was that after 50,000 kilometers, that cam chain tensioner had actually let go, and it was a super rattly engine. So it was really rattly, and but thankfully BMW actually covered a warranty request to replace the cam chain tensioner. So I'll show you some photos hopefully, but yeah, the Pro Cycles and St. Peters really took care of me, and they basically disassembled the whole engine, put a new cam chain tensioner in as part of warranty, and put the engine back together. Other things that are really expensive are tires. It's my first 1000cc bike, so the tires are very expensive. And also, I don't know if it's just me, I run Roslo 3s on here in case you can't tell the tread pattern, but it wears a bit weird. We drive on the left side of the road here, right on the left side of the road, so I think it probably has to do with the camber. You can see that the tire sort of wears a little bit weirdly, especially the front. So this one's just coming off a replacement. It's done around, gosh, I don't know, 10,000 kilometers or so, which is more than enough for any bike. The rear ones, as you can see, it sort of wears nicely, nice and even, as long as you're prepared to give it lots of throttle. Come on, cars. Don't you know I'm recording a video? What else is there? The catalytic converter gets really grimy and disgusting, which it really annoys me. It's really hard to clean under all those nooks and crannies as well. The brakes are really good, and I've been able to change. I'm not very mechanically minded, but I have been able to change the brake pads by myself. I've changed the wrist sprocket and the chain. I've had them changed, I should rather say. But yeah, it's actually really good. Something that you guys should remember is that it is quite noisy on startup, again due to the hydraulic cam chain tensioner. So if I was to start this up for you, just listen for the first 1 second. Have a listen. It'll be super rattly, super rattly. That's all I mean. Is that first second goes super loud, and then but as soon as the oil starts flowing through it, it actually works pretty well. But whatever. I did get the seat replaced. These guys are a bunch of guys in Goulburn, and it's actually just one guy, MJM Custom Seats. It is changed my riding. Before I found the seat really quite hard and a little bit not as grippy as I wanted it to be, the MJM Customs have basically just taken the seat, probably half day's worth of work, and I rode down there and then I rode back, and it's just really transformed my riding. I especially quite like the ridging, especially when I'm having more spirited riding on the track, obviously, and you can really sort of move around really well. So much more, it's not as angled. I'll show you. It's not as angled as your standard bike, so it doesn't go down as much. It's probably just an inch higher here than what the standard bike standard seat was, and it really made a massive difference to the comfort. I've done 600-700k days on there and without a problem. Been really happy with it. Highly recommend getting it, as long as you're even a second-hand one. It will run rings around any bike that I know of, but I haven't ridden that many bikes. But yeah, it's really good. Highly recommend it, as long as you can afford the maintenance costs. It is a very expensive bike to maintain. Anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. That's all I got. See ya.